Hello everyone, my name is Brianna Bilo and I'm a meteorologist here with the National Weather Service in Grand Junction, Colorado. And this is your May 2022 monthly climate summary. Our story of the month was fire and ice. So like much of meteorological spring, May was characterized by wild swings between very warm, dry, and windy weather, followed by much colder and wetter conditions and also often mountain snow. And there were several periods during the month where we would have red flag warnings out for critical fire weather, wind highlights out for very windy conditions, and then at the same time we would see winter weather highlights such as winter weather advisories for the mountains of northwest Colorado the same day or possibly the evening following the rest of the highlights. And this particular example was from May 19th, where we had high wind warnings and wind advisories in effect, we had red flag warnings in effect, and then that evening we had winter weather advisories going in effect. As far as our high temperatures, our warmest high for the month was 92 degrees in Canyonlands on May 27th, and the coolest high of the month was 78 degrees in Aspen, also on the 27th. As you can see, the 27th was actually a particularly warm day across the board. As far as our low temperatures, our coldest low occurred in Craig on both the 13th and the 21st of the month, and it was 22 degrees above zero. And our warmest low temperature of the month was 32 degrees in Montrose on the 4th. As far as precipitation is concerned, unfortunately, we did trend drier than average across the area, with 7 of our 10 automated stations coming in with below normal values. Although we did have a couple come in at or above, so Meeker and Craig here are our big winners, coming in at around about 2 inches, and both of them were about 3 to 4 tenths above the monthly normal for May. But unfortunately, Durango and Cortez are here at the bottom, with Durango only receiving 0.03 of an inch over the whole month and Cortez only seeing a trace, and for both of those that's around about 3/4 of an inch below normal for the month of May. As far as our drought update, unfortunately we have started to see an expansion of this D3 extreme drought into portions of southwest Colorado, and specifically the valleys south of the San Juan Mountains. As you saw with Durango and Cortez, they didn't get a whole lot of rain over the month of May. Aside from that, there's really been little change in the extent of D1 and D2, so moderate and severe drought across the area, and we do see this patch of abnormally dry conditions, which has been kind of wandering about over the past couple of months, whichever parts of the area happen to get the most moisture for the month is usually where that D0 category pops up. And as far as the monthly drought outlook for June, we are pretty much looking at drought persisting. There is that area along the divide where there is no necessarily signal, and that corresponds with this area of D0 or abnormally dry conditions. As far as the snowpack update, this will likely be our final snowpack update, as much of southeast and just eastern Utah has totally melted out, with the remaining basins in the Grand Junction area. The Duchesne River almost melted out, and then the northeastern Uintas sitting at about 80% of normal. And then moving over to Colorado, as we saw in the drought monitor and then the precipitation, unfortunately, southwest Colorado has not been doing so great. We have the San Miguel, Dolores, Animas, and San Juan basins, as well as the upper Rio Grande basins, both just about totally melted out. The Gunnison Basin at about 40% of normal, and conditions improve as you move further north, with the upper Colorado headwaters at 50 to 60% of normal, and the Yampa and White at about 90% of normal. Now note, these are both from June 6th. Conditions have most likely changed since then. For our June 2022 outlook, we are looking at odds favoring warmer than normal conditions across pretty much the southern half of the area, with equal chances of above or below normal temperatures for the northern portions of eastern Utah and western Colorado. And as far as precipitation is concerned, a slight tendency towards below normal precipitation conditions. However, we will definitely be looking to see if that holds up for the month. And that's it for May. See you in a couple of weeks with June's monthly climate summary. Thank you.